Often we hear of testimonies of believers that activated their faith and man, miracles happened. Where it was someone that was dying of cancer and the cancer disappeared, or someone was in a financial difficulty and suddenly financial doors opened, and we want such results. And I don't blame you. When you have troubling circumstances, you want the answer now. And there's nothing wrong with that because you live now. You're meant to be blessed now. I understand all of that. Just realize the following. The mountain is likely a distraction. Oh, let me repeat that. You may have never heard a message like this, but I'm telling you, the mountain is a distraction. Too often, we want to develop faith strong enough to move the mountain. The mountain can be any type of troubling circumstance that's haunting you. And when we have faith, and we keep praying, and we fast, and we move forward, we take actions in the physical realm. We don't just pray and wait things to happen. We pray and operate confidently also. So we pray and work, as they say it in some churches. You pray and you take actions in line with your confidence in those prayers. But still, the circumstances, it seems to keep lingering around. We tend to feel discouraged, thinking, Lord, what are we doing? Is there sin in us? Are we in iniquity? We tend to look for fault in us. Now let me tell you, that mountain is a distraction. But the enemy has you focus so much on that mountain that you don't look at the bigger picture. Remember, a literal mountain, I'm talking about mountains in the spiritual now. A literal mountain out there is part of a landscape. You will not notice a mountain unless you notice the landscape where the mountain is. So to capture the mountain, you also need to capture the landscape. If you want to take a picture of a mountain, you will have the landscape also. If you go to Japan and you want to capture Mount Fuji, probably you'll be at a distance, so you will also see the forest that's downstairs. And downstairs means that's below the height of the mountain. You will also see the clouds in the background. And maybe, if you, let's say you're close, you may see some cities in the background if you're in the air. You can't capture a mountain without capturing the environment in which the mountain is. That's obvious, that's natural. Why do you think that in spiritual is any different? I'm not condemning you. I'm not pointing a finger at you. I'm recording this video to open your eyes, to give you perspective. The mountain is a distraction. Look, when you go to David's life, I know it's Old Testament, but still, I use it as an inspiration. Goliath. A lot of people think, whoa, David had faith, man, he defeated the giant. The giant was just a passing cloud. It was just an incident. David suffered from father issues, for being rejected by his father. He suffered from rejection by his relatives. When he was chosen by God through the prophet Samuel, his own relatives turned on him. His own relatives didn't believe in him. Didn't have any trust in the anointing that was on his life. One of his elder brothers even came to accuse him. Later, Saul turned on him. Saul had this rejection issue that he turned on David. And David now had to flee for his life. There was even a time that the men who were with him turned on him. David went through a lot of dangerous circumstances. It took him 8 years after he became king of Judah, became king of the whole of Israel. So much resistance was against him. Even when he was king, now diplomatically, the neighbors were at war with him. And let's not forget that incident with that witch, Bathsheba. I'm not going into that in this video, but, well, David fell then, and it haunted his family decades later. And Solomon, who later came forth out of Bathsheba, well, he haunted the people after David was dead. But just understand this. All the troubles David endured during his lifetime, when you look at them, Goliath was just a distraction. Goliath was really nothing. But yet, a lot of people focus on Goliath as if that was a big victory. No, let me tell you, Goliath was a distraction. I've mentioned this before. And I'm telling you, the mountain you're facing now is a distraction. That's why look at the bigger picture. Okay, if it's a financial difficulty you're going through, you're applying for jobs, you have your diplomas, you have the certifications, you're praying. You're not just sitting on your bed every day crying that you don't have an income. You are up, you are walking by faith, you are active. Months are passing by, and you think, Lord, why isn't it working out? Let me tell you what's going on. You have a lot of folks, so-called relatives or friends, murmuring and complaining about you. That you don't have a job, they're accusing all of that, and they're generating negativity. And demons are being fed by this negativity. So all those accusations are like spells. So you are being spelled by people. And all this contention they're generating is empowering the paranormal. And demons who are glad are taking advantage of the negative energy that people provide onto them. So demons are activated by those people against you. So that's why for the past months you were fighting psychic attack after psychic attack. You think that those times that your computer broke down out of the blue, or that you lost your car keys just like that all those things were just incidents. No, they were the results of you being under paranormal attacks. That is what's going on. But you were focused on the financial situation, that you want to get out of welfare and get a job. That was the only thing you were focused on. You think, I need to move this mountain. Okay, you were so focused on that mountain that you didn't notice the environment of that mountain. I'm telling you, don't be distracted by the mountain, whatever the mountain is. And look at this. Mountain in a spiritual sense are paranormal strongholds that work out in circumstances. But ask yourself this, who is feeding that paranormal stronghold? Who is doing it? There's your issue. That's what you need to overcome. That's what you need to trample upon. But too often you don't see this because you're so distracted by the mountain. I'm not against you speaking to the mountain. I'm not against that. But look at the bigger picture. Christ said, speak to the mountain, it will move, to motivate your faith. That was not the end goal in itself. Christ just encouraged you, have faith. And I am speaking this in hope that your faith is enlarged. Don't be distracted by the mountain, whatever the mountain is. Speak to the mountain, do that. But also target those other things that are also relevant. Look, if you are only speaking to the mountain, but whatever is financing the mountain is not dealt with, you will get another mountain very soon. Then you'll be replacing mountains all the time. If there's a mountain that needs to be dealt with, you deal with it by faith, you do that. But also deal with the root of the issue. And I'm telling you, when you deal with the root of the issue, things work out, but also understand, folks will turn on you. Because their so-called private wills is dealt with. Which isn't private at all, because there isn't such thing as a private will. But anyway, see things as they are. When you deal with things at the root, you will have certain people just appear out of the nowhere asking how you are. Those are people that maybe have left you years ago, or they refuse to answer your phone calls, but suddenly they are so concerned about you. When it happens, ask why are they suddenly so concerned. It is because now that you're dealing with things at the root, they are dealt with. It affects them in a way they don't want to. So now they so-called want to be at peace. Now, of course, you walk by faith, you want to be at peace with everyone. But some people only want peace to remain with their darkness. Well, what you do with such people, remain at peace with them, but make sure you lose them. One way or the other. Because they don't really mean it. They just want to be relieved. But okay, for you that follow Christ, keep walking by faith and be encouraged.